Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance is not exactly beating the weird allegations. On Wednesday, the alleged sectional predator landed in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, where this happened.
I figured I'd come by and one, just get a good look at the plane, because hopefully it's going to be my plane in a few months, but I also thought you guys might get lonely because the vice president doesn't answer questions from reporters and hasn't for 17 days. Have they given you guys an explanation for why she won't take questions from reporters? No? Nobody? Okay, great. Well, I hope that you change your mind because it'd be good for the American people, and I think it'd be good for you all if she actually ran a real campaign instead of one from a basement with a teleprompter. So have a good one, guys. See ya.
No, not weird or creepy at all. No, that's, just like literally trying to chase after her, on the tarmac. That's great. Now, look, Harris's campaign fired back about 40 minutes later with this video.
And now I want to sit back and relax and enjoy my evening. When all of a sudden I hear this agitating, grating voice.
Okay, that's pretty good. Did they hire the Gravel teens to do Harris's social media? That's pretty good. Now, some of the responses, too, are also pretty great. One person says, JV Vance is a stalker. Okay. JV Vance, get it? He's in the JV team. Another said, the creepy and weird senator makes his entrance. He was so close, yet so far from getting to the plane of his dreams. And another points out, when that one friend shows up. Ooh. So now, there's also a lot of legitimate comments about Harris not talking to the media. I mean, look, I hate to say, J.D. Vance actually does make a point. Yes, Kamala Harris doesn't want to talk to the media. Why is that? Well, it turns out her communications aides are deeply skeptical that doing big interviews with major TV networks or national newspapers is going to offer any upside when it comes to reaching swing voters. Now, Politico notes that it's possible both candidates will focus much of their media outreach instead on podcasts, influencers, and other platforms outside of the traditional news media. So now, here's the thing, right? So not wanting to talk to, big cable TV, I actually don't mind that. Okay. And if you're going to talk to, smaller outlets, influencer podcasts, whatever platforms, outside of mainstream media, great. My only thing is, if they're able to ask tough questions, I don't think that's going to happen, though. No. I don't think with Harris's campaign, right? And that's because currently she's doing real well. And I think there's a lot of thought that, hey, if she does a sit-down interview, then maybe she might say something wrong or whatever, or something that J.D. Vance and Trump can pile on her for. Look, again, she does really good speeches, but at the same time, it's one of those things where I think her campaign is like, we really don't want to go and have her do sit-down interviews and give the other side ammunition. Now, that said, she often visits with the press pool seated at the back of her plane. That's something that Biden did just twice in more than 3 years. So Biden was, king of avoiding media, okay? However, Harris is like, I will only speak off the record. And when I have chosen to comment on the record, she says, it'd be, something in the news, and it would be her speaking to the pool on the tarmac, making statements but not taking any questions. So her team views the matter this way. Well, what is the incentive for her to take more questions? She's getting out exactly the message that she wants to get out. Yeah, so basically her team is very, very tightly controlling her narrative, okay? And that's it, controlling her narrative, controlling her message, and she's like, ain't gonna do it, all right? Ain't gonna do it. Politically, it's smart for now, because she's riding high. That said, people do want to know policy specifics from her, and I think that's fair. Now, J.D. Vance, he wants he basically wants her to mess up. I'm not saying that she will. I mean, I'm not saying that she's a bad speaker at all. She had like one terrible interview back in 2021, right? But since then, she's been very tight, very on message, very forceful. And of course, if you go back when she was in the Senate and when she was grilling people, she did a really, really good job. And so, well, that said, this is different because when you're sitting down with for an interview in the media, they're going to be grilling you. So, yeah, that said, I don't think she would do terrible. But again, you have no specifics yet on her policy positions, and people want to know. People want to know. So now, and people also might want to know why she may have changed positions since her 2020 primary on some certain issues. And of course, talking about Gaza, that's going to be a major point as well. That said, J.D. Vance and Trump, they're desperately looking for something legitimate to attack her with, especially since Donald Trump has been losing ground in the latest polling. J.D. Vance is absolutely getting obliterated. His net favorability is now at -9. 34% favorable versus 43% unfavorable. It just keeps sinking. It keeps sinking. And so Harris, yeah, she's going to want to keep the status quo going because it's actually going pretty good for her. So that said, she is going to eventually have to start talking to the press. But for now, her plan is let Donald Trump and J.D. Vance implode. I can't say that it's a bad plan either. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.